So just wondering how you've reflected on last Thursday night, first of all.
Yeah, I've slept well over the weekend, but obviously, really happy considering it's our first game together as a group. I think 4 players, 5 in the squad making their debut. So to be honest, I wasn't sure what we are going to get before the game. So just really happy that they connected really well early, and obviously just got to keep our feet grounded now and keep working hard.
And as a sort of spectacle for Rugby League and Super League, what do you think that the general reaction has been to a 1-0 win like that?
Yeah, I think it's got the whole country talking, and even a lot of my friends in Australia were talking about it in different social media chats and all that. So it certainly kicked off well, and I think a great exposure for the sport altogether right across the whole world. I thought it was a real physical game, had a finals feel about it, and to go 0-0 at full time is something that we haven't experienced before. And then the 1 point field goal certainly changed it all up. So great for our club, obviously, in our town. Our fans haven't had much to cheer about whilst playing Wigan, and it's our first win, I think, in 7, and one of the goals for the club for this year. So really pleased for the fans, and obviously for the group.
And what can that do for you both physically and mentally, really? I mean, because it was such a tough challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I gave an extra day off there because we had a 10-day turnaround. So like for the statistics for the rugby league fans, the ball was what we call in play for 72 minutes, which is just unheard of. I don't think that would have happened anywhere else in the world, possibly ever. So it just shows you the level of game that it was and the intensity of it. So the players are a little bit sore back into training, and that's the way that it is. I'm sure Wigan players are feeling that way too, especially after round 1. But certainly going to help our group get a lot of confidence. I don't want to say too much, obviously, because we've got to play Wigan 2 more times this year. But just grateful and that we've got that win now, albeit 1 point to get the 2. But it certainly puts us in good shape moving forward.
And you must be pleased you've got the extra turnaround now to Sunday to Giants, Huddersfield Giants.
Yeah, we have, but it's also can be dangerous too, these sort of turnarounds, the 10-day turnarounds, because you want to play straight after that if you can, because you've got momentum, or you feel you've got momentum. And to be honest, the players haven't played too much together, so we need to keep playing together as a group. And it is a danger game on Sunday, without a doubt. I thought they were courageous the other night going down to Warrington, and they'll come here, and they upset us here in round 1 last year at home, which is still in the forefront of my mind. So we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. It's only the beginning, but certainly high standards to start the year.
Just a last couple from me, because I know there's quite a few guys on. Just injury-wise, so Josh Charnley, what's the problem with him, and do you sort of regret now playing him on Thursday night?
It was a call made at the last minute, and don't ever regret playing a player when we do have it. I mean, we got a fair bit of feedback on it, and we thought it was the right thing at the time. But Josh has got some scans yesterday, and we'll get that information back hopefully any hour now. So it looks like he may be out, 4 weeks plus from this point on, and we'll make some decisions based off the results from the scope.
So what was the actual injury or potential injury?
It looks like there may be some meniscus in there and a little bit of hamstring as well. So we've just got to, again, like I said, just wait for the scan to come back this afternoon, and then we can make some decisions moving forward.
You were obviously with Edwin and Robbie Mulhern a little bit of a doubt before the Wigan game. How did they both pull through?
Yeah, both pulled through very, very good. And grateful that they both played as well. I thought they played really good games, and both played big minutes as well. So, it was one of those, like I said, it was a finals feel about it. So, it's a nice way to start the season. We've just got to maintain those standards now.
Smashing. I'll let the other guys have a go at you. Thanks, Lemmy.
Hi, Adrian. Can you hear me?
Hey, Ben. Good.
Oh, sorry. You okay, Ben? If I go?
Yeah, no, I got.
Sorry, just a couple. Adrian, in terms of integrating the new players for a first performance of the season against the quality of opposition that you were against, did they surpass your expectations last Friday?
No, not really. We made a collective decision as a club last year to move and have a philosophy around how the team wants to look this year, and certainly single-handedly went out and chose those players to be able to fill those positions. So, not surprised that they've done well there, but I guess surprised that it's come so quickly. You know, I know even myself as a player, when I played at Kentucky, up to 10, 12 weeks to get the rhythm in this country once you come over from the NRL. But I think the players that have come over have certainly started really well and gelled really well. But like I said, it's only early days, and I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. You know, there's a lot of maturing still there within the group and every individual player, and a lot of hard work to be done. And you know, I'm just excited about where we can get to as a group. But certainly there'll be some ups and downs along the way. We've just got to ride through them.
Yeah, you said a couple of times there that, you know, there's a long way to go. How do you sort of guard against that kind of euphoria that follows a result like that?
Yeah, I think I had a few people around, because I live in Wigan, you know, like said to me, look, I think you celebrated a little bit too much, didn't you? Like, and the players and team, and I was like, I had to think about it. And I said, no, I don't think so, because you know, it's a milestone. It's an honour to beat Wigan. We haven't done that yet as a club in the last 7 encounters, and you know, last time we beat Wigan at Wigan was 42 years ago, and I think we heard a stat that the last time we held Wigan to 0 was in 1908, is what we're hearing. So. You know, the biggest crowd in Super League on a round 1 game, great atmosphere, just excited to be a part of it and to get a win, especially when we started so slowly last year. You know, you need to celebrate those little victories and then get your feet grounded again and go again. So we've done that. You know, we're back on earth again now, and like I said, it's a tough game this weekend against Huddersfield here. You know, we slipped up here last year against them, so we don't want to repeat that.
Cheers, Adrian. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Lammy. All right.
Good, Ben.
You mentioned obviously Josh there. Obviously, it's a bit of a blow that he's at, but there's plenty of cover around in the squad, isn't there? A bit more depth this year.
Yeah, we've brought a lot of. There's 12 new faces that have come into the group, Ben, and they've all been training really, really well. You know, so obviously Bailey Hodgson will come into consideration for Josh. There's AJ Towers from York, who's probably been our best trainer player in pre-season. So everyone's, you know, nipping at the bit to have an opportunity, and I'm excited and I'm happy about that, because that's what we need and that's what we want. It's not good that Josh will be out for a couple of weeks, but certainly that player that we give the opportunity to, or, you know, do we push Tessie out to the wing and put a centre in there? So someone like Badrock, who's also been training well, Jack Hughes, you know. So we've got a tough decision to make there, but also one that I love this part about coaching. I love giving the debuts to players or players an opportunity that have certainly earned it, and you know, they'll be no different on this occasion.
I think after Thursday you said Josh was the only injury blow. Is that still the same?
Yeah, he's the only one that's out. Obviously, Darnell McIntosh out for a couple more weeks still, Ben Nakabuai out, and that's it. So, you know, I think we'll name a pretty near on full squad without Josh and Darnell in there.
What's the issue with Ben?
Ben's had some knee injuries. I think there's a bit of cartilage there, and also slightly with his hamstring. So that's been delayed. So he's probably 4 to 6 weeks ago. And off the back of that, I think he's also got a little bit of a pec tear as well. So that's all part of it.
And just lastly, going back to the sort of, you mentioned the whole country talking about last Thursday's game, the 1-0 scoreline. We need more of that in this game, don't we? We need the country to be talking about our game in a positive light.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a good result for rugby league. And I said to the players after the game, had we been on the other side of the scoreboard and lost 1-0, I would have felt pretty much the same, because I thought we couldn't have done any more. And it's the same as Wigan's dressing room. I'm pretty sure they'll be saying the same thing, that you couldn't have done much more apart from kick the field goal. So I think both teams were real physical, defended really tough, minimised errors. Our completions were really high. So we played like a brand of finals rugby in round 1, which is great, you know. And like I said, I wasn't sure what we were going to get, but that's certainly a nice surprise that we've done that so early on. We've just got to maintain that now, and hopefully it's not pot luck. So, you know, we've been working hard for that. We've certainly got clarity on how we want to play as a group, and I thought we nailed it the other night.
Cheers, Lammy. Good luck for the weekend.
Thanks, Ben.
Hi, Adrian. It's Martin here.
Hey, Martin.
Congratulations on last Thursday night, mate. I thought it was a jaw-dropping result, if I'm really honest about it.
Did you enjoy watching it?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. And
What did you love about it?
Sorry?
What did you love about it?
I just the ultra competitiveness of it. That you competed for every ball, everything was at such a high level. I thought, and it's interesting because I've written before that if two teams really play at the highest level and don't make any mistakes, could that lead to a dull game? But actually, it didn't. It was quite the reverse of that. So
I think sometimes in matches that are like that, it seems to go so fast. But talking to the players on field, when you look at all the statistics and the GPS readings and that, it's as high as it gets in professional sport anywhere in the world. The heart rate's at maximum for longer, the meters per minute's longer, the ball in play's longer, the heart rate's high for a majority of the time. It's a real physical, tough game, and when both teams are defending like that, you get a spectacle. Because I thought both teams also moved the ball. I thought there were opportunities for both teams to score tries, which is, even though the scoreline read 0-0, I thought that there was 2 or 3 opportunities that both teams could have scored from.
Yeah, it was hard not to celebrate with the Lee fans when the drop goal went over. But apart from that, the winning score. What did you think the crucial moment in the match was? Did you have looking back at it? I thought Keenan Brand's tackle on Jay Field was the really crucial point because he came in really strongly on that tackle, no hesitation. He knew he had to tackle him because he'd got 2 men outside him, and he pulled off a great tackle. I thought. Is that how you saw it? Yeah,
there was a couple of key moments. When you watch the game back, there's 20 or 30 moments that both teams did really well to stop the opposition team from scoring. Like even Lachlan putting his hand up on one of the last plays there to stop the kick over from Harry Smith for Bevan French. Like little moments like that, Bevan French chip kicked and Davey Armstrong jumped on the loose ball and put his body at risk, and it just goes on and on and on, and that's what you got to do to beat the teams like Wigan. You've got to turn up on every moment and win all the little moments, and I thought we competed that really well.
A few of the guys you've signed this year, if I'm honest about it, I've never really heard of them or hardly heard of them. But they were so impressive on Thursday night. Ethan O'Neill, I thought, I didn't really know what to expect from him, but I thought he had an outstanding match. And amazing, as you've said already, that it normally takes a long time to settle in.
Yeah.
And yet, all those guys, actually, every single new player looked as though he'd been playing with you for years.
Yeah, I felt that way too, and I think we got 2 players in the team of the week with Ethan O'Neill and Tessie New in that team, which is great for the club and acknowledged today. But I felt that a lot of players or people or fans don't know the players that we brought in, but I do, but we do, and that's where we work really hard at, on outside of the rugby league scene to make sure that we get the right people in here. I've coached Ethan O'Neill at the Clay Valley Crocs team, the same club as Lachlan, for 4 years when he was 12 to 16. So the other players, they're the ones to try and find that no one knows about. The other ones are too hard to get a hold of or too expensive to bring in. So we've certainly got a bit of a philosophy around that, and it's working at the moment. But like I said, they've got off to a nice start. There's still got a lot of work to do, and I'm looking. The best part about coaching for me is watching these players develop and grow, and be successful at what they do. So I'm looking forward to that during the season.
And did it? It's a bit controversial to start the season with this new format of the Challenge Cup, where you travelled away to Workington in your case and put 60 points on them. But would you say that was particularly helpful because it allowed you to introduce all your new players in a game that you're always going to win? And if they'd not had that game, maybe it wouldn't have been quite as easy against Wigan.
I think it depends. We decided to go only on one friendly because we had that Challenge Cup match in between. So we had the Warrington friendly and then had to put all our eggs in one basket with Workington away there. So I thought it was difficult to do at such an important game at that part of the season and to balance the team out together and play. So I found that hard. We're always supportive of the RFL's ideas and that, but I hope it doesn't happen again, to be honest. But we're through that now. We've got Batley in the fourth round of the Challenge Cup, and that's home here, which is exciting for our fans and our club. It's a competition that we're very passionate about. But moving forward, players. We've also got a philosophy around trying to pick some local players in our 30-man squad, and we've got the Louis Brogans and the Andy Badrocks who are now on the verge of being in that 17, and I'm really excited to watch them come through as well. As much as we've got the Ethan O'Neills and the Tessie News and Isaac Lius and the list goes on. We've also got the local players that we've done a lot of work on that we feel have got a big future here. So we've just re-signed Andy Badrock for 3 years now, and Louis Brogan was upgraded to 3 years last year. So those two players you'll see predominantly in our team moving forward, and hopefully in the near future.
And final point, what were your discussions like with Derek after that win? He was obviously absolutely delighted, and I hope he bought you a beer, mate. That's
he did, mate. And I don't know if you saw him in the dressing room singing the song, but he gets right amongst it. But like Derek's a passionate Leigh fan and rugby league supporter, and again, like every other Leigh fan, coach, whatever you are, we haven't had a good run against Wigan in the past, in the last 3, 4, 5 years. So that's nice for us to enjoy those moments, and I'm grateful for Derek that he's had a chance to enjoy that at Wigan as well. He's working very hard behind the scenes here to make us successful off the field, but also on the field, and like I said, it's a good time for the fans.
How did the feeling after that game compare to winning the Challenge Cup final, for example?
Just different. Just completely different. But great in a way that you it's round one, and you're not, and I don't know half the players in the team that haven't played before with the group. So you go in as coach thinking, we've trained decent, like we just need to put it down, and I don't know what to expect. So luckily they've all turned up for each other and got the win there. And like I said, we're excited and we celebrated about it, but we've moved on too. So we won't hold on to that for too long. Been around a long time to realise that if you fall in love with yourself, it gets tipped on your head pretty quickly. So like I said, we've got Huddersfield at home now, and that'll be a difficult game as well.
Absolutely. Okay, mate. Thanks very much, Adrian, and good luck at the weekend.
No problem. Thank you, mate.
I'll jump in for a quick few. Hi, Adrian. Hope you're well.
Hey, Josh. Good. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Just one last one on your NRL recruits. You said before that it can sometimes, you've got to be patient. It can take a while, moving to the other side of the country, playing a different sport. But your NRL recruits seem to fit right into Super League on Thursday, didn't they? Yeah.
I'm very pleased that they did that. And I think, Davey Armstrong's pretty sore from what he received. But we had a conversation about the fact that they're going to target him. And I felt that's exactly what he needed. And the minute as a player you understand the levels of intensity there is, and you get through that, and you're physically and mentally tough with it, I think you get a lot of confidence from that, and you grow from that. So those moments are what can define people and bring them forward with their confidence. So, it's I'm still in the same boat. I still think it'll take them 6+ weeks to get to their best, and I'm really excited about that. I thought Tessie New did some great stuff in the game, and he's going to go another level over the next month. I think Isaac will as well. Ethan O'Neill, they're everywhere. Davey Armstrong, Bailey Hodgson will get an opportunity soon. Like I said, Andy Badrocks. The whole squad are full of players that could potentially play at any stage, and I'm looking forward to picking those players when the time comes. I think there'll be a lot of new faces make their debuts at some point. So there was 7 debuts against Workington 2 weeks ago, and there was 4 in Super League last week.
Good to hear. And just a quick one on your opposition on Sunday. You have a chance to watch them against Warrington, obviously off-season. Yeah. Lou Robinson's had plenty of injuries to fight against. They'll be encouraged with their performance. You expecting an encouraged Huddersfield side because of that?
Yeah, like I said, that they came here last year and upset us here at home, and it was quite a disappointing night, really. So that's still in the back of my mind, but I feel that that won't be the motivation. I think the motivation will be to try and maintain our standards of what we were, and so therefore look at within the group as opposed to the opposition. So they've still got some great players in that squad, Huddersfield, and if you're off, they can hurt you at any point. So we're just going to make sure, keep our feet grounded, just focus on us, keep working hard together as a group, and repeat the same performance as last week.
Great stuff. Best of luck. Thanks, Adrian.
Thanks, Josh.
Hi, Adrian. You alright?
Hey, Sam. Are you okay? Very well, thank you.
Just followed you on. You referenced all the sort of metrics that you had on Thursday, like the minutes with the ball in play and the heart rate of all the players, etc. How do you avoid a drop off? I mean, obviously you are going to get a drop off because it's almost impossible to replicate that. But how do you temper that drop off so that the standard on Sunday is still high enough to win a game and high enough that you're impressed with and happy with?
I think you've got to recover really well. I think you've got to have a lot of downtime to make sure that the body responds and recovers, and then you've just got to do what we do and just get back into the process and make sure that we're learning from each other and making sure we understand that it's our efforts that got us to where we were, and it's easy to go out and not be the same team, isn't it? It's difficult to play the same performance, so that's the challenge this week. And again, I don't know all of these players well enough to know that that's not going to happen. So it's obviously a threat and danger, but it's on the players. They're accountable to that. So I'll hold them accountable to the way that they play. And if there's anything less than what we were last week, well then there'll be some honesty and some questions. So I'm pretty confident that we can turn up and be the team we were last week. And if we can do that, well then we're heading in the right directions in the sense of keeping the standards high.
And just a final one, I think Martin sort of mentioned Keenan Brand's tackle on Jar Field.
Yeah.
He was one of several brilliant performers.
Yeah.
But I was just on him. He obviously didn't play loads or too much last year. How impressed are you with his resolve and the ability to sort of make it back into elite rugby league? Obviously, given that he had that sort of 6 months to hiatus away.
Well, I love Keenan, and Keenan's the last standing player from the first time that I turned up. He's the only one that's still here from all that time. So that should show everyone how much I care about him and what I think of him. But he made a decision also to go missing in action with Love Island, so that didn't sort of help his progress. But as a club, we supported him through that, and his pre-season has been unbelievable. Like if I could try and teach young children how to be when they're trying to take on a next level or take a step up. It's what Keenan's just done there. So he certainly put himself in a position to perform well and on all the work that he's done in pre-season. He can't have done any more. So I'm happy for him that he's got that opportunity and the way that he played. He played well against Warrington as well, played really well against Workington. So he's a player that I don't want to let go from this club for a long time. He's a good lad off the field and certainly one of those players that's a competitor. So he's got a long history here, long future here.